Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in a series of videos that is all about handmade carpets from around the world. I welcome you to our channel. I hope you and your family are doing well. In today's episode, I want to feature one of the classic, very collectible, very popular types of Persian rugs. These are the antique Malaya rugs. And I'm also going to show you, in addition to this large piece that I have here, that I thought I'm going to feature later on and show you some of the details and everything. I also have this tiny piece right here. This is actually one of the oldest carpets that we have. This is an extremely old piece. This is it dates back about 150, at least 150 years old, probably even way beyond that. But when it comes to the antique rugs, there is unfortunately a lot of misinformation out there. And sometimes people will take rugs and they will restore them. They will have them fixed, which is kind of like whenever you deal with something that is very old, oftentimes the restoration basically ruins the value. People like, especially old antique things, the way they are. So as you can see here with these two pieces right here, whether it's the small piece right here, or whether it's the antique piece, or as this is the other part of the video, I had a viewer, Christopher, he sent me 4 pictures. This is also part of what I do in my YouTube channel, where I talk about, I make myself available to my viewers. So in his case, he sent me a picture of a carpet that he has, and he asked me if I could give him some ideas for what it is that he has. And he also sent me several pictures, and these are the pictures that I explained to you in the video. I have the link below in the description, where if you're watching the videos, if you like our channel, you have questions about a rug that you may have, feel free to send me the pictures. The video below, the link in the description, shows you what size pictures I need and in which format, exactly what parts of the rug and all that stuff. And he did just that. He sent me 4 pictures, but they were exactly of the file size that I needed. These are like 1 megabyte pictures. These are not big pictures. Well, I looked at it and picked the brains of my family, as I always like to do, and we pretty much all came to the conclusion that this is most likely also a Malaya type old carpet. And that inspired me, and I asked him for his permission, of course, and he said, absolutely, use it. And like I said, it inspired me to also give you a little bit more information about him. So if you like the old Persian rugs, if you just like to get a little bit of information about them, see some examples, please feel free to watch this video, as it's all about the Malaya carpets. And so, to basically get started, if you look at a map of Iran, as I oftentimes do, I'll put a simple map up there, and you can see that Malaya marked in red there. It's kind of in the central western part of Iran. This is a large village, or it's actually, from what I understand, from what I have read and learned, it's a collection of villages. And it's also the capital of the Hamadan province. Now, for those of you that are into Persian rugs, the word Hamadan will probably tell you a lot. This is one of the large rug producing centers. Well, the Malaya, the villagers, these have been extremely famous. The rug production that comes from the central western part of Iran, like I said, the Hamadan region, you got Saruk, not too far away from there. These are large rug producing areas, but the Malaya rugs in particular are extremely thought after for the antique rugs. Their production boomed between right about 1850 and 1950. I don't know what happened, and I've talked to family about this. As I was born and raised in Germany, as I have oftentimes mentioned in the videos, even though my parents are from Iran, a lot of what I know about the Persian history and culture and everything, it's not so much what I experienced myself, but what I have learned from others. And so in this case right here, from what I understand, there was a movement. A lot of the villagers started to move into the larger cities. In the rug production, it didn't cease, but it has dropped quite a bit. So when it comes to the Malaya rugs, we're talking about rugs that are best known. The most amount of them were made between 1850 and 1950. These were basically made not just in the small town, in the village of Malaya, but also in the surrounding villagers. These are mainly ethnic Turkish. And so what you have is, and you can see that also in the designs and everything. If you look at the ethnic, it's almost like borderline tribal. You'll see that there is tremendous correlation in the type of designs, also in the wools and the material that is used. These are all wool rugs, typically cotton foundation. What stands out on the Malaya rugs, though, is that the piles is extremely thin. And they are cut really short. And this is something that really makes the Malaya stand out, is the fact that they have a very, very thin pile. But it really brings out, you're almost looking at the foundation, but you're looking at the details of the design. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful example of what the antique rugs were all about. Obviously, they were made 100% vegetable dyes. Really, just for people that are into Persian rugs, especially if you're into older rugs. And as many of you know, if you have watched my other videos, I'm personally not a huge fan of the older rugs. The Malaya is an exception. And what I like about them is the fact that because the pile is so thin, if there is any form of restoration that was done, you're immediately going to notice it. And that's a telltale sign right there. So when you look at the older pieces on the Malaya, you look at a piece like this, you can tell whether they were fixed up, whether they were repaired. And the other thing that I like about them is not only is the pile, and like I said, the pile is in such a way because of its thickness, that being that they're really shaved off, as I mentioned to you, if there's any type of restoration done, you'll notice it. This is what I like about them. They're not two-faced kind of people. If this is a person, he'll tell you straight up whether he is perfectly in good health or whether there was any work done to him. So what you see is what you get. The other thing that I like about the Malaya rugs, these are old pieces, whether it's this large piece right here or this truly old, tiny little, small little piece right here. What is great about them is that they're not that expensive. These are not rugs that are in the tens of thousands. So if you have someone who is, they do make larger pieces and they can be quite expensive. But here's the thing. Just because a rug is 100, 150 years old, that doesn't mean that the rug should be tens of thousands. Yes, they're old. Yes, they are antique. Yes, these are beautiful, almost like pieces of art, but they are what I call still in the affordable range. And so, like I said, I wanted to showcase the two pieces. Then we had Christopher right here. He had shown me the picture. He sent me the picture of the rug, and just to give you a basic overview, he sent me a picture of the whole rug, and you can see the design, the geometric, the large medallion versus the piece that I have right here does not have a medallion. His piece does. But it's the features, it's the design that we're able to look at and say, yes, this to us looks like a Malayer. Then he sent us a picture of the corner from the top. And this is also something that I ask about when you guys send me the pictures of your rugs. Send me a picture of the corner of the top. That gives me an idea for not only what type of rug it is, it shows me also the condition of the fringes, because by looking at the corner of the rug, I can look at the workmanship. It tells me a lot about the fringes, basically what type of fringes it is, whether it's cotton, whether it's silk. And also it tells me about the edging, and the edging oftentimes tells me a lot about the condition of the rug. Is this a rug that was redone, or is this authentic? And so it really tells me a lot about the details. And then most importantly, he sent me a picture of the back of the corner, but from the bottom. He flipped over the rug. And this is something that I ask all of you to do. This picture right there, I have that picture of the back of the corner. I had the picture of the front of the corner. You put the two together along with the picture of the whole rug. For most people that are into Persian rugs, they can pretty much tell you what it is they have. And as I always tell my viewers, as I told Christopher as well, I'm not going to tell you that I'm an expert. I am not going to tell you that I have a whole bunch of letters next to my name. I am not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I can only tell you this. This is what I grew up in. If I don't have the answers, I ask people who I think they could help me. And then I'll let you know. And then I share the details and everything with you. But if I don't have the answers, I will tell you that as well. And I have made several videos where I literally reached out to you folks and said, look, if you can tell me a little bit about this mystery rug that I have, let me know. Also, as I always say, folks, feel free to get second, third, and fourth opinions. I have absolute no problems giving you my 2 cents if I'm asked, but I will always suggest that, hey, you know what, if it matters to you, get other opinions. And also get back to me if you learned something different, because I do like to learn. This is something that, like I said, the channel is not just about me talking, it's about me also learning from you. And so we had the 3 pictures, and then finally, he also, and this is something that I always talk about in my video, he sent me a picture of the ruler, and in his case, it's actually kind of hard to see with those little markings there, but this is an actual ruler, and I can see the knots and everything. On the antique pieces, the knot count is not really important. On the old antique pieces, condition of the rug. Even in this old piece, this very small piece right here, this is an extremely rare piece. And even though, as you can see here, it is, well, it's a little bit dented right here. It's not perfectly straight. It's the fact that it's all intact. And this is all original. This was not worked over. This was not patched up. This, what you see is what you get. And what you're getting is literally Persian history. That is what makes this rug so unusual and such a beautiful piece. The same thing with this larger piece right here. And that's really what I look for. This is what also the picture with the ruler comes in. I can look at the picture, I can not only see the knots, but I can also see the condition of it and everything. So I thought I'd introduce you to the Malaya Rugs. Now, as I always do, I'm going to get behind the camera and show you some of the details of the two pieces that are hanging here on the wall. And then I'm going to come back to you at the end and say my quick goodbyes to you. As I've always done, below in the description is the link to the video. If you have questions about rugs that you may own, or you just wanted to share something with me, please feel free. Watch the video below. It tells you how to take the pictures, what size pictures I need, and more importantly, what exact pictures I need. This way you can email them to me, and you can get my email address, but you can visit our website at mprugs.com. Feel free to email me. I am getting a lot of emails as our channel keeps growing, but I always say, if someone asks nicely, they are going to get a quick answer. So I typically, most of you, if you email me, you'll get an answer back within a day or two. And because what I can do is I can take a look at the pictures, especially if they're in the right format and everything, and give you a quick answer. And hopefully it will be of help to you. And, you know, we'll go from there. So also, if you like our channel, feel free to subscribe. Then this way you're notified when I normally put about 1 or 2 videos up a week. And as you can see, I have no problems answering my viewers' questions as well as the clients of our website. And so below are all the details. So I'm going to now do what I always do, get behind the camera and show you some of the features. And then I'm going to come back to you later and say my quick goodbyes. Here I am this time behind the camera, and just want to feature these couple of beautiful antique rugs. If you have a passion for antique rugs, you know what the Malaya rugs are all about. These are, like I said, best known, best made famous. These are the old antique pieces that date back from around 1850 to 1950. That was basically their heydays. And like I said, beautifully done, very tribal design. Here we have the larger piece. And here we have the smaller one. I'm just going to actually just put the two of them side by side. And so as you can see here, these are very old types of rugs, Turkish knot. And on these types of rugs, what is, like I said, for those of you that are into the antique rugs, if you're looking at buying something, always look for what I call the defects. What you want to avoid is you want to avoid rugs where they were worked over. And I'm just going to use an example here. As you can see here, everything here is left as it is. And that is really, really important. As you can see on the showcasing on the smaller piece, we have had it where some workshops, they'll go in nowadays and they will frame these types of rugs, and they will at times stretch them out to make them uniform and all that stuff. But on these types of old carpets, it's all about basically leaving them alone as is. It's not about going in and touching things up. You want to just basically enjoy them for the way they are. And like I said, you have the symmetry of the knots, you have the old type of design, you have pure vegetable dyes. These are just really absolutely beautiful pieces that have a lot of history. And a lot of my clients, when they look at these types of rugs, part of the thing that attracts them to it is because every one of these almost have their own little stories. I mean, these rugs are a lot older than we are, so they have seen a lot more of the world, and they almost like they all have their own stories and everything. So, as I mentioned to you, I'm not a big fan of the antique rugs, but on the Malaya rugs, I really like them because there is nothing there to hide. If there was the pile as being as thin as it is, I mean, you're looking at almost the foundation. There is not a whole lot left here. And this is how they were made. This is really what sets them apart. And like I said, what is really nice about them is when you flip them over, if there's any type of work done to them, you would see it on the back as well as in the front. And this is why I say, you know, these people have nothing, these rugs have nothing to hide. What you see is what you get. And so there's all the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm going to come back to you now and just give you guys my quick goodbyes. So there's our video about the Malaya carpets. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to give a special thanks to Christopher for allowing me to showcase his rug. I wish you and your family the very best. If you have questions, feel free to leave them below in the comment section. Also subscribe and all that. So I'm going to be coming back to you with many more videos to come. Until then, best wishes from me, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.